Hello, and thank you all for joining me today for another episode of Social Media Talks. Today, I'll be accompanied by Professor Dr. Mehmet Altınay, the Dean of the Economics and Administrative Science faculties. Please remember, guys, if you have any questions or inquiries, do not hesitate to ask down below in the comment section and or contact us via any one of our social media platforms, as well as the email that will be shown throughout the broadcast info@kyrenia.edu.tr. Okay. Hello, Professor
Hello,
Dr. Mehmet Altınay. How are you today?
fine today.
That's good.
Very
So,
excited and enthusiastic,
yes.
and I would like to thank to the university and to you for giving me this opportunity to address my uh, students, potential students, and academic staff in relation to our university, Kyrenia.
Thank you very much, Professor, for being with us today. So, to start off, may we know a little bit more about you, your education background, where you're from, how you came to Cyprus, and to be part of the University of Kyrenia family?
Okay. I was born in a small village which was attached to Larnaca district. After my elementary school education, I sat for the central examinations of the English of Nicosia. And from the village, I won the examinations and I was a student at the English School of Nicosia, but I couldn't complete it because of 1963 communal problems. So for 2, 3 years, I couldn't attend to high school. And after 2, 3 years, when the doors opened in Cyprus, within the on the island, I went to Namur Kemal uh, High School and I completed my uh, high school. Now, English school is a very important breaking point for me in my education because there all the teaching and was in English, and we had the opportunity. The Turkish students had the opportunity to learn Greek, and Greek students had the opportunity to learn Turkish. And I was very lucky to stay at the dormitories. So I was from the 12 years and on, I always gave my own decisions. I was independent and I had to care myself. This is very important. I was not staying with the family. As from 12 years old, I started giving my own decisions and planning my own future. The education that English school offered in those days was the best education because it was not only teaching, it was education. All the students had the teaching part, but we were divided into four teams, and there were competition in athleticism, football, basketball, volleyball, hockey, and I found the opportunity to take part in all these activities. And as you know, sports activities give you skills that will go with you for lifelong. What was that? In sports, I was playing football. I was the captain of the team, and I gained what skills? I was the captain. I was the leader. In football, you have to cooperate, teamwork, planning, organization, and time management and self-management. You could not
Very important.
go late 1 minute because the football match is going to start, and you cannot leave before. And there is planning and organization before the football team. And these are very important skills, not in further education, but it is very important for gaining these skills to compete in the job market. So
Mhm.
education, as understood by others, is not teaching and learning. It is improving your knowledge, but on top of it is skills and competences that you are going to use in your business life to be successful. So my success in my career is not a coincidence. I came from that education, which is still the best education in North Cyprus. Then, after a break because of the political problems in Cyprus, I found the opportunity to go to Turkey, and I won the examination, international examination of Middle East Technical University. I got scholarship, Kennedy Scholarship, and I became a student of Middle East Technical University, which is the best university in Turkey now. It is, and all of our academic staff were coming from new graduates from the United States with new knowledge, new information, new practices. And this gave us another vision for the future. And it was very competitive there, and I had to compete with the best students coming from other countries within Turkey and Cyprus. And I was one of the best students of those days. And as I graduated, next day I started working in Istanbul. Another big challenge and experience for me, and I was working 3 shifts, 24 hours. I was the top of management, marketing, production, and all aspects, accounting. I was dealing with all this, and our company was working 3 shifts, day and night. I was staying in the factory, and I was always with the employees in the business. They were very hard days, but I want to give a message here to my students. Don't be afraid of hardships. Hardships teach, and you never forget. After 2 years of experience, I said I have to change. I changed, I moved to an international company in Istanbul, which was very challenging for me. And I learned also the discipline and the system. It was a radio and television production company, and I was in the accounting department. And then I said to myself, I had enough experience in a very short time. So in my life, as you can see, change and diversity, and also moving forward and forward all continuously. I worked to some extent, but in those days, I applied to Philips Company International. I applied to Koch and Sabancı companies, and all of them offered me a job. I preferred the international one to add more experience to my life. Then I worked for some time in that company. I added new experiences, new challenges, and I gained more and more competence because I was one of the best. Then I said, I have to move back to Cyprus, to my home. I came here, everywhere was closed, there was no job. So those days were days of hardship. But again, we learn to survive in those hardships. And these are very important in the realities of life today as well. Then there was no job. I was unemployed. I married. I was staying with my mother's, with my wife's family. And one day I went to Nicosia and applied to Turkish Bank. Turkish Bank, and I saw the manager. He asked me from where I am graduate, but he was also graduate of the English school. So he was very interested with me. And suddenly, without any hope, I got a place in Turkish bank. So I joined the bank business. Can you see the changes and learnings and experience in my life? The continuous lifelong learning philosophy and experiences. Then I joined the bank. I was in the savings. In 2 months, I went to the manager and said, I know the procedures, give me to another branch. After 2 months, I asked to go to the credits and also insurance. So I moved in 1 year. I moved to all branches in the bank. Why? I had to be strong, because if there is a position up, You have to know all the transactions, all the
Definitely.
procedures to be a manager, a branch manager. And I didn't stop. While I was working in the bank, I joined the international banking examinations. From outside, I gave my courses, I sat for the examinations, and in 2 years' time, I was the only person who had international banking certificate, which this opened doors to many other opportunities all over the world. I was international. After the 1974, I said I have to change new opportunities. I started working in a public citrus fruit export company. I was the manager. I had 1,000 employees working, irrigating oranges, picking, packing, and exporting. And suddenly, I didn't have any intention to get involved in politics, but my environment forced me to enter into politics. And because of my network from football, because of my network from the school and the university, because of my network in the bank, because I knew all the business people, uh, I, I was involved in their and helped them in their functions. I know also many people in the that I was working 1,000 employees with me. With this network, without expecting, I said in 1976 for the elections in the country, and I was an MP at the age of 28 years old.
Wow.
At the end, I was appointed as because of my experiences, because of my network, because of my influences around, I was appointed as the Minister of uh, Finance at the age of 28. After that, after that, I continued. In the meantime, suddenly I found myself I was the general secretary of a political party. I was the speaker in the parliament, and then I found myself as the minister of social works and security, which is very important. This is another experience. Experiences bring more experiences, more network. And
Definitely.
in 1990, after 14 years of MP in the parliament, I was the speaker of the political party, so I can have network communication. So I said, it's enough for me in this small country, 14 years. I said, I'm going to give up politics. But what would I do? What would I do? Then I joined a bank. I was the inspector in a private bank, but I was not happy with it. But suddenly, with the opening of the first university, Israel Mediterranean University, I was still at those ages. I was reading, I was researching, I was developing myself, and I joined the master's program, completed the master's program. I went to EMU and they said, you don't have a PhD. So I started jobless. Thanks, my wife was working, 3 children at home, and without a job. After years, I had to build a new career for the future. So I could see the developments in the education sector in North Cyprus. So I said I'm going to be an academician after all these experiences. Then I finished my master's degree. I joined the PhD program, Çukurova University, Adana. I completed my PhD and I went as a instructor at EMU. Now here, why I'm telling all this, I am different. I am different from other teachers. I didn't come straight from academia. I
Exactly.
have at the back very, very good work experiences. So I am one of the best persons in this country who has links with business and academics. I am not a pure academician. I am a business experience with academic experience. So for years, I served in EMU as the Faculty of Tourism, one as the vice rector of the university, and I was leading the strategic plan and quality affairs of the university. And at the end, I said, this is enough. I served for 26 years there, and I said, this is enough. So I looked for another venture because I am a lifelong learner. Some people tell me, when are you going to be retired? I will never retire. Life is lifelong learning. It's like a bicycle. If you move the pedals of a bicycle, you don't fall. If you stop, you finish. So you have to work and keep yourself updated with current knowledge and experiences. Then, but somehow I was offered to be the dean of the business and economics, and I said this is another change for me. So I joined Kyrenia University. I am thankful to all those who opened the door for me, and with enthusiasm, with my colleagues, with you, with my students, with my teachers, we are trying to develop and give light not only to the national students, not only to the students in Turkey, but our university and my programs are international programs serving to all international students coming from developing countries. We are the only country and the university that is opening where we have more internationals than nationals. So we are giving a very good service, a very good contribution to the students of the developing countries and treating them equally. We are all equal, irrespective of country, irrespective of color, irrespective of language. And this philosophy, this enthusiasm are all in our classes with my teacher group who are also excellent.
Yes. Well, thank you
Yes,
very much. Yes. For sharing that, and we are happy to have you in the University of Kyrenia family
thank you.
with your many experiences. So I just wanted to ask a few things about the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences.
Now,
First of all, what are some of the opportunities and advantages to this faculty?
now, now, in the Faculty of Business and Economics, we have at the moment 4 programs. One is Banking and Finance, International Relations, Tourism, and Business.
Yes.
Business Economics, Banking, Tourism, and International Relations, 4 programs, and one master program on business. Now we have applied for master programs for international relations, banking, and tourism. We are waiting for the decision of the Higher Education Council, YODAC, at the moment. Now, we have 4 programs. All 90% of our students are international students coming from different countries. What makes us different? The students make the difference because they are coming from different countries and we are learning and sharing our experiences and we are setting a vision for the future. For the future. This is very important. A vision. So our students were very keen on this, have to be graduates with a vision for the future. If you don't have a vision, you cannot succeed to complete your mission. So this is very important. The second important part is our team, our teachers are excellent, educated, graduated from some from UK, some from United States with new practices and looking at things from a different angle. This is very important. They are highly equipped with publication potential and very good command of the language for communication with the students. Now, what makes a difference here? Kyrenia University, with its management, with its administration, with its location, is an exceptional place to study because of the quality of education and also because of the security situation. North Cyprus, Kyrenia, is the most secured place in the world. Now with this coronavirus, you can say again, Cyprus is the most safest place to protect yourself. So we're living in such a community. The second thing, education is not only class. That is the teaching part. Now, for the education part, we have the student clubs. We have the opportunities of the municipality. We have the opportunities of the country. So students are, are developing themselves within a multicultural environment. This is very important because, as we know, the world is changing. Because of politics, economics, rules are changing, social, cultural infrastructures are changing, technology is changing itself drastically and very quickly. Environment is changing, legal frameworks are changing. And again, now with this coronavirus, new problems have been added to the education sector, to the businesses, and to all countries. So, who are going to survive? Those who have the best, that can see the future, meaning having a vision for the future, and also having experiences in a multicultural environment because world is not only national, it's regional and international, wherever you go. And with this coronavirus, the rules of the game are changing.
Yes.
So we have to catch the change. Now we have students in the master's program, all their proposals are on impacts of coronavirus in aviation management sector. We are selecting and directing students on the very current topics to see the future. So this is very important. We are setting a vision for our students, and also there are opportunities and advantages because we have very close relationship with students. Student satisfaction is a priority. We have to have happy teachers, happy academic staff, administrative staff, happy students, and and we are saying you have to have a vision. You are members of developing countries, and your responsibility when you go work is more than any other because you have to develop and change your country. So our education with our team is not only teaching in the class. We share all this. It is knowledge based. It is skills based. It is based on competences, and we have office hours, one-to-one, face-to-face, sometimes group team, and we are using all the means, all the facilities to give them a vision for the future. Now, for our university, uh, we are following the European standards and guidelines because it's a big reference for us. Our programs are approved by EUG, but this is not enough. We are following European standards and guidelines. So here, quality assurance is very important. Very important. We have to assure students that we have a high quality education. What is that? when we look at the principles, leadership is very important. So in our leadership team, the rector, vice rector, the general secretary, the team have a very strong vision and leadership on quality. That's why we have the strategic plan of the university. All the faculties, including my faculty, have the strategic plan of the faculty. We have the quality handbook, we have the student handbook, and we have the web page for the students. So this is very important. And also, we are assessing the environment, developing a strategic plan, and assessing the results. At the end of the semester, students fill evaluation forms, teachers fill performance forms. So there is a performance evaluation plan, do, check, act system is continuing. But there is always a room for improvement. Now, the other important thing is the stakeholders. Now, the programs are very important. To what extent our programs are updated and, and what relations, how we establish link with the businesses. There is a big conflict and discussion between universities and the business side. They say we want graduates that can start job. We don't have time to teach them. So we have to work hand in hand with the businesses. So we are revising our programs consistently to update and capture the recent needs of the businesses. So we have very good links with the businesses to ask them what do you expect from our graduates in tourism, business, international relations, and banking and finance. Because if we close our eyes to the business and try to stay within the academic limits, we might not see the changes. And after all, the ultimate aim is to find an opportunity to work. This is very important.
Yes,
In this world where employment after coronavirus, employment is the biggest problem of the developed, developing, and underdeveloped countries. So at the end, the fruit, the benefit should be to find a job. And we are planning and giving such an education. We're not just academic, business oriented, and also case studies, research projects. We donate students with all skills to compete in the job markets in Somalia, Nigeria, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and all others, India, and all others, Kenya. So our vision is broad, open to continuous improvement, and we are also very keen on student satisfaction. Happy student can be motivated. Happy student can bring happy students, and this can be like a snowball, and we have a decent, sound education continuing and ongoing. So we have the institute, we are part of the Social Sciences Institute, for example, aviation program, master's is attached to aviation, but we are part. We are giving service to them because there is the aviation management. So the management one, whether aviation, whether maritime or any business, management is an important aspect, all area. So we are giving that part of the course to the aviation business, maritime business. So we are giving also, on top of the programs we are running, we are giving service to all programs, including engineering in relation to management and economic courses as well.
Yes. And could you elaborate a little bit on the job opportunities that the students who study the departments in this faculty have? For example, for a student that will study international relations or tourism and hotel management, what are some of the job opportunities they will have when they graduate?
Now, banking and finance. As you
Mm-hmm.
know, banking and finance is the key bone of the economy. Finance. But we are living, the businesses are running their businesses under risk, especially in these days. So students, for example, should be, I asked some of the students in aviation to study risk management in aviation, for example, to see the realities of present situation in banking and finance, risk management, which is very important now. So their topics are current. That is going to give an answer to the businesses. So the students know how to prepare a strategic plan, know how to prepare their career plan, and also can offer. If you go to a business and apply for a job, they ask you, okay, what contribution you can do to my business. If you say no, you tell me they want someone to develop their system and business. So I tell them quality and strategic management. You can ask them, let me see your strategic plan and I can give you suggestions to develop it. Let me see your quality assurance system, then I can help you to develop it. You have to go with suggestions and projects to apply for a job. So any finance, any banking, any other things, banking and finance students is at this age, which is very critical. Banking and finance, money, loans, and also uh, uh, insanity. Anyway, these are very important. These are very important. So they their ears are open for these jobs, and they can know what they want and what they can do.
Yes.
Securities market. Yes, this is also very important. Now, business, all businesses are in front of them. It all depends on the capacity to produce projects and apply projects. Why should an employer employ you if you are not in a position to develop, contribute to the business? So we are talking about job opportunities, the skills that each, for example, I tell my students to search for job opportunities and criteria. What do they need from you? And try to strengthen yourselves to get the job. So in the banking and finance, international relations is very important now. International relations are like this. You don't know who are the allies, who are not the allies, who is going to change tomorrow. So you have to have vision for the future in international relations as well. Business, tourism again. Now, tourism is one of the most important sector in the world according to World Tourism Organization. Statistics, out of 8 jobs, one is produced by tourism. 10% of the PhD is produced by tourism, and there are very, very large job opportunities in tourism. But it is struck by this coronavirus. But days will pass, and I can assure for a tourism graduate they can get a job if they equip themselves on the lines that we are directing them. So, banking and finance, international relations, business, and tourism are the potential sectors and job opportunities for the future. Our students with their language, with their skills, competences, they are lucky and they can get a job not nationally. I tell them, don't think nationally. You have to be national, regional, and at the same time international.
International. Yes. And from your experience in teaching, what qualities do successful students possess? Like, what are the top three things you expect for students from students at the beginning of the semester?
What? What?
Your experience in teaching, like, how is a student like successful in his studies? What do you expect from the student?
Now, the ECTS system
Mm-hmm.
requires more work from the student. Teaching just in the class is not enough. It is more the work they do outside. So we are not expecting from students to come to class, do what they are told. This is not enough. The work they do at home, for this, they have to be organized. They have to be good in time management because if a course has three credits multiplied by uh, 6, it is 18, 180 hours. We are expecting 180 hours of work, class hours, plus projects, seminars, presentations. So we encourage our teachers to use alternative teaching methods, not only lectures in the class. Lectures is knowledge based. How are the students going to develop their skills and competences? With the projects, with research, to develop analysis, synthesis, evaluation, presentation skills, communication skills, problem solving skills, time management skills, the projects. So they have to study more, work more at home. Only class activities is not. You cannot capture the current problems of the world. So we are giving assignments, projects, seminars, research activities to students, which have to be done at home. So they have to fulfill this workload to reach to the standards of EU. This is the ECTS system. But if we continue only with lectures, it is 3 hours, 14 weeks, 48 hours. How about you have hours to 180, 130 hours? So students should have projects, seminars, research, presentations to fill those hours and develop skills. This is the essence of ECTS. So our teachers are conscious, they are knowledgeable, they have come from this system either from UK and United States, and we are having at the beginning and at the end of the semester discussions. We have meetings with our staff to evaluate ourselves to what extent we are opening the right way for the student to work more at home. And the biggest problem I can see in the developing countries, as you come from Sweden downstairs, is time management, which is the only resource that we are equal. Inequality starts from what we are not using our time management, time and we explain repeatedly this to the students. And of course, with coronavirus, it was important, but technology is becoming more and more important. Without technology, you cannot get access to new information. And also, by the way, I want to tell, we have a textbook for the course, but most of the material we use in classes in my old programs are internet, current articles, current publications to capture the most recent knowledge and information. If you stick to that, can be a book can be a reference. But if the date is 2010, there is a gap 10 years. The 10 years ago published book cannot reflect the picture of today. But it is important resource, but all the research activities, as I said, I have 3 students now doing aviation management. They are all working on impacts of coronavirus on airport, risk management, marketing, and so forth. Why? Those are current issues that students can prove themselves by submitting a document that they work currently.
Yes. And when we look at the near and distant future of this faculty, what kind of developments can we expect? Like, what kind of plans are there for this faculty?
Plans for the future.
Yes,
Now,
near and distant.
distance education. Are you asking distance?
Yeah, anything with education. Is there any new programs? Anything?
Yeah. Now, we're given a decision before the coronavirus. This year, we are going to have meetings with the business people and say them, what type of student graduate do you want? What knowledge, what skills do you expect, so that we adapt,
Yes.
we adapt their suggestions into our programs, and also we integrate their views in our course outlines on knowledge, skills, and competences. Program objectives, course objectives should match with the needs and demands of the businesses. Not only, and we ask also this to graduates. So you're a graduate now. What do you suggest to us? What is missing? Missing. But we'll never forget that education is not only in the class, it is more outside, at home, at night, to work, and also learn from peers.
Yes.
In my classes, in our classes, for example, we ask an international student to sit with another international student. A Cypriot sit with another international. A Turkish student sit and share. What do you have in your country? What do I have in my country? What are they doing? What we are doing? Now, sometimes if there is not a good information from the partner, you gain confidence that you know more. But if there is something that you can learn from your partner from Nigeria, Cameroon, then you can learn. So group work, teamwork, working together. Students sometimes come and tell us we cannot meet each other. But this is what they have to learn. Learn to come together. In the business, you cannot work with your own. You have to work in a team. So teamwork, group work, and international exchange of experience. For example, if we offer economics, we give the general principles, but each student has the obligation to submit the macroeconomic and microeconomic position of their country. So our students and we become more knowledgeable about the countries we receive students, and also we learn from peers. So we're using all tools of education. Now, in teaching and education, lecture is one part. We have to develop other teaching strategies in the classes. Teaching, they have the book. If they want, they can read it all. So classes should add more than teaching. Students should be part of the class, part of teaching. And I give them an example. I am a graduate of Middle East Technical University, and what I remember, I was the one of the best students, but what I remember from this university, the projects, the small projects I have done, not what the teacher talking in the class. So you remember what you do, what you experience. So we have to develop our experiences, and I follow also Australia. This is the approach they are using in Australia as well, and not
Yes.
pure teaching. That was in the past when there were no books. Teacher had a book, had to read it and tell the student. But students can read and they have more time to read. So students should be assigned more to develop skills and competences, knowledge, continue to learn, but competences and skills go with you. So our programs are different from others in the sense that we are giving a skills-based, competence-based vision, practice, and application.
Yes. Quality education.
Quality education. But
Yes.
one thing more,
Mhm.
love and affection, irrespective of country, religion, color. Equality. No one is different than the other. Because students who come from Africa, they are generally sensitive, and we are very keen, and we are emphasizing and underlining that we are equal, irrespective of language, religion, color, country. Equality is the basic value of our faculty and the university.
Yes. And some of the advantages of studying postgraduate degree in these fields, for example, MBA, what would be the advantage of studying MBA for the future?
Now, undergraduate is general program.
Hmm.
Everyone has a degree, but master or PhD, we don't have. We hope one day we'll have PhD programs. The advantage is specialization. For example, if my student is working on security systems after COVID-19, he's going to specialize in this area, and this is a graduate where you are going to look at, because security is a big problem because of this. But my student is current, updated, and the topic is the topic of today, not a topic of 10 years ago. Another one is going to work on risk management after COVID-19 in Somalia. Now, everyone is talking about risk management, but the parameters have changed now. So there should be a new way of looking for risk management. Also, the airline business collapsed. What will be the marketing of the airlines in the near future? Human resource management. Now, you cannot be an employee with the old skills and practices. You have to develop yourself to the current changes. A human resource of 10 years ago cannot answer the questions of human resource of today, or the financial, or the marketing, or the production of service or product. Parameters have changed. So my students, with their projects and with their thesis, are ready for today's problems. They should be, and they are able to suggest something for the security management, something for the storage, something for the um, risk management, something for the marketing. All the rules of the game changed because coronavirus has affected politics, economy, technology, environment, and legal frameworks and trade relations of the countries. Are we ready to challenge all these problems? Yes, we are trying our best with you, with our teachers, with our students as a team. We are completing each other.
And hopefully we do get through these difficult times together and see better days. So we have come to the end of it. That's all we do have time for. Thank you, Professor Mehmet Altınay, for joining me today and explaining a little bit about this faculty. Thank you all for joining me and Professor Dr. Mehmet Altınay. And please join me again later today at 4 p.m. EEST, where I'll be accompanied by Mrs. Fatush Aksaç-Galip, the Acting Director of our Foundation English Program. And until then, take care, stay safe, and
Thank you
goodbye.
very much for you. We are pursuing for our students open door policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Hocam.
Thank you.